Department. Captain Chuck Hensley, I believe, is there. Lieutenant Al Williams, and possibly Officer Erik Estrada. Gentlemen, are you on the line with us here?
Yes, sir, we are.
Now, what are you guys doing up there?
Oh, the Muncie Police Department, the Salvation Army today at Myers store, grocery store. We were giving away food today to the.
Now, is this in exchange for donations?
Well, this is an annual. I don't know the details on that, but I know it's an annual thing that we do here in Muncie, Indiana.
It's a Crime Stoppers food basket program. We give away food baskets to the poor that Salvation Army picks for us. Erik's here giving them out.
Very nice. Now, Erik Estrada, of course, from television fame, movies, and everything like that. And, of course, you did the Armed and famous TV program there. Has that been 2 years ago now, Erik?
It's 3 years now.
Oh, for crying out loud.
This is my third year back without the cameras.
Now, I remember watching the show, and you said, I'll be back. And I thought, yeah, sure he will. But you've come back. What brings you back to Muncie, Indiana, sir?
Well, from the age of 7 to 17, my first passion as a young boy was that I wanted to be a New York City police officer. It just so happened I got into drama club chasing this pretty girl, and I got bit by the acting bug, and I figured, hey, let me give it a shot, see if I can make some money and take care of my mother and do that number. And it turned out fine, so I ended up, with my new passion being acting, I got to be a cop on TV.
Right.
And then when Armed and Famous came around, I saw it as an opportunity to see if I still had the passion and the love of wanting to be a cop as a child. I took advantage of that and came in, and I realized that I did. And now that I made the reserve ship, I'm not about to let it get out of sight. So I'll keep coming back until they kick me out.
Now, what do you have to do to retain your reserve status?
You have to come in and put in 96 hours a year, which is 8 hours a month. I like to come in and try to do it in one clip, but they are very and they're very understanding. I want to use my celebrity to help build police relations with the public and the community, and at the same time, since I became a reserve officer, I went on to Bedford County, Virginia, became a deputy sheriff, and now I work with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force there.
Wow.
So we can get internet safety education put in schools in America, because it's very much needed.
Right.
But Muncie's my home.
You like it up there? Although, how's this weather treating you here?
Oh, I love it. I'm a New York boy. I love the cold. Give me the cold. California gets on my wick with the heat all the time. It does.
That's right, and the bugs aren't as big because it gets cold. That's what I always tell people.
That's what's good.
Yeah. Erik Estrada, along with several members of the Muncie Police Department, Captain Chuck Hensley and Lieutenant Al Williams, are at the Myers store in Muncie.
Yeah, and to answer your question even better than I just did, one of the main reasons I love coming here is because of Al Williams and my friendship with him and his family and our family. I've had the opportunity to host him twice in California, and he showed up when I got my star. It surprised me, representing the department. It was wonderful. So I got a great brotherhood love for him and his family, and so I'll always come back, whether I'm kicked off for force or not.
Won't happen. Won't happen.
What has this meant to the department, Captain? I mean, how has it changed the department having Erik Estrada as a reserve officer and coming back once a year?
Well, it's helped our programs immensely, especially the donations coming in to help the people that need the help here at this time of year. And it's just, I can't describe how much he's helped. It's just beyond words.
I mean, it is an important thing. I mean, trying to retain, relations with the community and everything like that up there, and especially with, Ball State up there. I mean, that's a big chunk there too. And I imagine having a celebrity like Erik hanging around might help them add a little extra respect for the police department.
Oh, it does. And having him sign autographs and meet and greet the people out here. We had an elderly lady today that was 92 years old that Erik talked to and hugged.
I know, I was so jazzed. This woman comes up, she goes, I'm 92. And oh my God, I was all over her. I found it very attractive. I was all over her.
Well, I mean, how does that make you, can you even describe how that makes you feel, Erik?
Well, the mere fact that she herself accomplished 92 years on this earth, knowing how life is and how tough it can be, and just to, I'm going to be 60 in 2 months, and I can't wait to be 65. I'm excited about it. But to meet someone who's 92 and has lived here and knows life inside out and has health and is astute and yeah, I was just and then wanted to see me. I was like, wow, it was the biggest compliment to me. I mean, she blew me out of the water. I loved it.
Right. Erik Estrada is our guest again, along with Captain Chuck Hensley and Lieutenant Al Williams. Are up at the Fire Department store in Muncie, Indiana, handing out things for the Salvation Army. And of course, we do a lot of here on our radio station, WIBC, for the Salvation Army. I mean, they really do the most good, Erik. Do you see that all over the country, how the Salvation Army?
Yes, I do, and they have for many, many years. Many years, and I'm glad to be involved with them, and I'll keep coming here. I'll come every year. I want to try to ante it up and try to come twice a year so we can do a fundraiser in the middle of the year, and then of course I'll always come for Shop with a Cop and the Maya Suit, the food, Crime Stoppers food giveaway.
Are you going to be patrolling this week also?
Yeah, I was working last night, and I'll be on night shift tonight, and I'll be on night shift tomorrow night.
Anything happened last night that might have made a good episode of Darned and Famous?
Yeah, we could have spun it that way, but yeah, one thing was it was at 2 o'clock in the morning, the snow and the slush and everything, the cold and the wind blowing. This fellow was walking down the street with a child that was in a onesie, the onesie outfit, so that's a young child.
Yeah.
And he's all bundled up, so he was taking it to another house, but in the middle of the night, and then we went to see the mother, and the mother is out there. She, excuse me, she's pregnant, and and out in the street waiting for the kid, and it was just a ridiculous situation. That makes no sense to have a child out in a onesie, unbundled up in this cold weather. People have got to think twice when it comes to children and the elderly. They got to think twice of what's right.
Getting back to the program, Erik, that you shot there in Muncie.
Yes, sir.
Have you spoke to any other co-stars that were on that, Jack Osborne or anybody like that?
Well, Jack came back last year, and I got to see him while I was also here, and that was a good thing. I think he's caught up in England right now, filming his series, and then I did talk to LaToya Jackson.
Yeah.
She had called me because she heard about my getting my star on Hollywood Boulevard and the fact that I came back once already and then I was coming back again, and she was saying, "Oh, I'd like to come back too." I go, "Yeah, right. Bring your cat." She was a mess. I mean, what really chapped my bottom was when we did the laundromat stuff. I used to run a laundromat from when I was from 6th grade through to high school in New York City after school, from 3:30 to 7, and then I close up the place, make 1 or 2 deliveries, and go home. And we use quarters. You only use quarters in laundromats. She's tried to, and I gave her a handful of quarters to use while we were there, and I told her this is what you use. And then the next thing I see, I'm sitting home watching the show, and she's trying to stick a paper dollar bill in the thing. Really made me angry. So I didn't talk to her, and I didn't invite her to my star.
Yeah. Now that Erik Estrada, our guest, that was pretty cool. I mean, getting the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, obviously. I mean, that kind of adds. I don't know if it adds any credence to it, but it kind of leaves your name there forever.
Yeah, it does. On the street there, you could stop by and admire it, or you can come by and spit on it. But it's like a statue. The birds get on you, and they don't. But the best part about it, getting that star, was when Al Williams surprised me that he showed up, and the fact that for me it meant something because I have children, and also because I got to dedicate the star to all law enforcement men and women in America. That was the icing on the cake.
Now, Erik, when you were shooting Chips back in the 70s, what kind of reaction did you get from actual law enforcement back then to the TV series?
Oh, back then, I was so happy to have a steady job as an actor. And have a series and know that I'm going to work for the next 8 months straight, have a steady check, and get my mother out of Harlem and take care of her like I do now still. That was my goal. She was my motivation, my motivating force. And you do the job. I've been very surprised now that I'm much older and that it's 25, 28 years since, and how many officers, men and women around the country that I met who are officers today because they were taken over by the show as young people and became cops. And when you're doing it, you don't think of that. I was busy enjoying myself, having fun, I'm glad it had that kind of influence.
Right. Our guest, and you know, one kind of a sideline talking about being an actor, Eric. We can ask. There's talk that they may be like a SAG a strike against the picture mixers or something like that in Hollywood. What do you think about all that?
Well, this might be a strike. They're gonna vote on voting. They're gonna vote on whether to vote on it or not come January. They've been in negotiations for a year now, and nothing is getting resolved. The problem is not about films and stuff. The thing has to do. It has to do with the new market, which is internet.
Right.
You know, all those viral videos you see on the internet,
Yes, sir.
and you can download all kinds of stuff. You can download television. You can download just about anything, and nobody's getting paid. So that's where the nobody foresaw DVDs, internet as a marketplace, and now that it is, it's not fair, and they should come to some fair and reasonable agreement on payment of those things. You know, that's just the way it is. So you know, it's like everything else. You got to fight for everything that you can get.
Erik Estrada, again, our guest, and several members of the Muncie Police Department. Eric, you said you obviously a reserve officer there.
Yes, sir.
You also have a deputy's badge, I believe, down in Virginia also.
Bedford County, Virginia. I'm on the ICAC task force there. My goal with that is simply after I've got involved with it and did 8 months of training there, and saw what's on the internet and saw child porn and saw what happens to young girls and boys that get had by sexual predators off the internet. I want to promote the sheriff there, Mike Brown, had internet safety education mandated in the schools. It's the only state in America that has mandated in the public school system internet safety education.
Right.
So I went ahead and got it in my daughter's school in California, which is a private Catholic school, and you can do that. And the wonderful thing about it is that we supply all the software, do the presentations, train the teachers, and the software is approved by the Department of Exploited Missing Children out of Washington, White Collar Crimes, Fraternal Order Police Center. All of these organizations endorse, and Boys and Girls Club of America and DOJ endorse the program. It's interactive, age appropriate, from K to 12. And it's free, at no cost to the school, the parents, anybody. You want it, we will do it. What I'm doing and lobbying for is getting the legislation in each state to make it mandatory in public schools. And you know, just twice a month, you teach the kids, like the DARE program. I did DARE for 6 years, and that's all you got to do. And you get a child between the age, and you got them for life, you know?
Erik Estrada has been our guest, along with Lieutenant Al Williams and Captain Chuck Hensley of the Muncie Police Department. Now, so if folks wanted to help you up there, what they just get hold of the Salvation Army, or is there some other folks they can contact if they'd like to support you?
Oh, Captain Hensley.
Salvation Army would be great, but they appreciate all the donations they can get.
Yes, and then please do whatever you can. I know times are tough and tight. Do whatever you can, because it's very much needed. I will always show up, no matter where I am in the world. I'll jump on a plane. I flew in from Canada. I was working there, you know, but I will always show up.
Well, you're to be commended, sir, to using your celebrity and your and all your efforts here to help other folks. That's awful nice of you.
Well, you know, you got to love your fellow man one way or the other, or you know.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Good luck up there, and we hope to talk to you again real soon.
Hey, thank you for your interest, really.
You're welcome, sir.
God bless you, man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
All right. All right.
Erik Estrada, Lieutenant Williams, and Captain Chuck Hensley, Muncie Police Department up there right now.
God, that was fun.
There.
Man, I talk like a...